Last episode, it was yet again a pretty one-sided vote. The majority of people wish to learn the bow, so sit back and enjoy the continuation of the story. You let the merchant know you wish to learn the bow. Excellent choice, he says. I have a friend in Mintwood who can help you with that. You will need to conceal your secret though. There may be places you can go without wearing that hat, but the country of Braston is not one of them. My ship will take you there. Wait for the hunter in the town of Mintwood. He pauses. Don't venture into the forest without him. As you pluck the feathers from the bird's carcass, you think about the choice that brought you to this place. The hunter doesn't talk much, but is an excellent teacher. He would be walking through the forest right now, possibly hunting, possibly training his falcon. He had taught you to shoot, and you feel confident about your archery skills now. He has taught you so much more than that though. Tracking, fletching, butchering. You smile at the first time he got you to gut a rabbit. You vomited all over yourself. Anything you failed at, the hunter would not berate or chide you. He patiently waited for you to recover and instructed you to try again. He often compared you to a deer or a wolf depending on your success of whatever he was teaching at the time. At the start you didn't understand, but now you feel confident you could live off the land and not even need to go back to civilization without being the hunted, just like a wolf. If it wasn't for the fact that you feel a debt to the merchant and how he has changed your life, you would even consider doing so. You have found more meaning to your life living out in the woods with a stoic, silent stranger than you had in the years before reaching this point. The feathers you are collecting are to repair some of the broken arrows from your quiver. One of the things you never considered about weaponry, and the bow in particular, was the maintenance required. You want to get your arrows back after you have shot them. Recovering an arrow was far less time-consuming than making more, and an iron-headed arrow was difficult to make. It was worth spending a day looking for one. That's when you heard it. The sound is extremely quiet, but there. The person behind you was good at traversing the woods, but not good enough. You knew immediately that it was not the hunter returning, as you never hear him move. You continue your task as if you hadn't heard anything. Not even pausing, you remember your training.
The startled deer tells the wolf that he knows it's hunting him.
The hunter's voice plays in your mind. He has trained you well. You are no longer a startled deer. You calmly continue work until your movements take you close enough to your bow. In a swift, graceful movement, you collect your weapon, targeting the secretive person moving through the bush. You are surprised but don't falter when you see an elderly woman. She smiles. Your arrow is incomplete. It will not shoot true. She was right. It would pull hard to one side. She takes a step closer. You compensate for the arrow and pull your shot hard to the left. The bolt shoots, looking as if it's going off course, but curves wildly and whooshes past her head, just as you had intended. Before she has time to react, you have a second, truer bolt drawn back. She gets the message and ceases her advance. He has trained you well. The old lady stretches her arms slightly to the side with palms facing you and sits on a nearby log. You loosen your draw but leave the arrow knocked. You are able to fire in the blink of an eye thanks to the hunter's training. Do you know of me? She asks. You of course know of the Witch of Mintwood. There were places the hunter warned you not to go within the forest, and you of course had heard the rumours. You gingerly smell the air for any hint of mint. There is none. I can see that you do. We have a mutual friend, you know. I am not surprised you know the hunter, being a fellow creature of the woods, you reply, still at the ready for treachery. She cackles, a sound that only reinforces her reputation. We are all Lilith's children, but no, Evron. I was talking of the merchant. So much information for you to process in that one sentence. You decided to wait in silence. You are a smart boy. Far less stubborn and full of yourself now, but still smart. Can see why he chose you. You lower your guard now. In most confrontations, the violence occurs at the start of the encounter, or at the end. You still hold your bow at your side, however, and keep your stance. You decide not to bite at any of the information she has given you so far. What do you want from me? A smart boy indeed, she says with a smile that seems genuine. Simple. I need you to get a letter to our mutual friend. Logical choice, you think to yourself. One thing you have learnt about Braston is that paperwork can be dangerous. The amount of writs the average citizen had to carry around just to be free of the oppressive rules around magic was astounding. This witch would no doubt be high on the Braston military's list. You realise in that moment, just how lonely this woman must be. As if reading your mind, she says, "Don't worry of me, sweet boy. That kind of empathy will get you killed here." She pulls a letter out that is sealed in a traditional way with wax and a rare petal. This way, if the seal is broken, it is nearly impossible to put back together. You had no doubt the petal sealed in would be one of a kind. Can the hunter not take it for you? She shakes her head and explains that he is known to the people they are trying to keep secrets from. The merchant would consider it payment for what he has already provided, she says. Though you have many questions, you know that this is not the source that is likely to answer them for you. You walk towards her to take the letter. As you grab it, she says, "I have 2 more presents for you." You stand frozen, feeling like you had walked into a trap. No, silly. There is still a little deer in you, I see. But don't worry, you are mostly wolf now. Her hands reach out and touch the sides of your head. You feel a warmth on your scarred ears and your heart starts to throb faster. In a moment, the heat is gone. You reach up to feel your ears and they are healed. The scars have completely disappeared. You notice there is still a slight point to them, but they would pass as human. Then she grabs a vial of black murky liquid from a satchel and holds it out to you. "It is not for drinking, wolf boy." "What's it for?" She shakes her head. "Trust me, you will know." You grab the bottle, and as you are inspecting it, you notice a blur in your vision. She has vanished.
I hate it when she does that.
A gruff voice, somehow both quiet yet authoritative, sounds behind you. You smile. Not once. Not once have you ever heard the man approach.
You have 2 choices before you, wolf boy.
He tells you that you must deliver that letter.
You can go into town and travel with one of the logging shipments that are often taken upriver, or you can travel the woods alone.
You understand the former would be faster and safer, but would come back with risk of being discovered at a checkpoint. You would need to rely on your not unimpressive skills as a bard for this. The other would be slower going through the bushland and dangerous, but you'll be less likely to be discovered. You would need to rely on your newly acquired and admittedly still green talents as a hunter. The hunter approaches you, and for the first time ever draws you into a hug.
Proud of you, wolf boy.
Thanks for watching, everyone. The choice today is to pick how you are to travel back from Mintwood. Will you go it alone or travel with a caravan? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.